تلاميذ 4 150 شخص بيعملوا بلوجينج، عم بيكتبوا ارتكلز، وعبالهم يسمعوا رأيي ونحكي مع بعضنا. ناطريني هون بالمدرسة الأنطونية بعجلتون. What to expect؟ Bonjour, bonjour.
Today, it's our pleasure, hand in hand with Father Germanos, to welcome to AIS a renowned food enthusiast, Mr. Anthony Rahayel, who has traveled far and wide to explore diverse cuisines and share his culinary experience with the world.
We're excited to have him here with us today to inspire us with his passion for food and storytelling. Today, we're going to have a first-hand look into the world of blogging so that we can make our marks online. Let's give a warm AIS welcome to the no garlic, no onion blogger, Mr. Anthony Rahayel.
We're very happy to welcome you at Antonine International School. Blogging is a very valuable tool for our EFL students. Through this, it provides them with a platform to practice and improve their writing skills. Through their blog posts, they have enhanced their vocabulary, their grammar, and their sentence structure.
Additionally, it encourages them through creativity and self-expression, allowing the students to explore their thoughts and ideas in a written format. It also helps them in developing their critical thinking skills as they craft engaging and informative content for the readers.
Overall, blogging has provided a practical way to improve their writing skills. And I'd like to show you some of their work that we've posted on blogger.com. So they, through their exams and writing skills, they've come up with blogs around various topics, and we have posted them for them on blogger.com. They talk about their own experiences, their tips and tricks for living in Lebanon, different recommendations, where to go, and how music, for example, or any other skill that they have achieved has enhanced their lives to benefit. Right. Okay, so these are all their work, and we are very proud of them.
Hello, Mr. Anthony Rahayel. I would like to know what inspired you to become a food blogger and share your experiences online.
So that's a long story that started in 2012. So the blog started on the 13th of March of 2012. And the idea was to write reviews about restaurants in Lebanon, because all reviews happening back then were paid for. So if you look at all the top 10 lists probably in Lebanon and around the world are paid for. So I wanted to create something that is different, that has a certain credibility, where I can write my honest reviews from start to end. So I developed a certain system where we start by, when I park the car, what happens, the valet parking, and then the whole experience of waiters welcoming, table setup, food, menu, etc., etc. And I started writing reviews that go into pages and pages all about my experiences. Taking a step back, in 2008, I started writing reviews on TripAdvisor. And back then on TripAdvisor, one after the other, traveling all around the world. One day I received an email from TripAdvisor saying, "Thank you, you are one of our top contributors." So I said, okay, why would I write for someone else? So why not have my own blog? Why not have my own platform? And it started in 2012 while being a dentist in parallel and writing reviews about restaurants probably 2-3 times a week for people to know the exact truth about what to expect. If it's good, I would put up to 100 over 100 note. If it's not good, I would go down to 5 over 100, all by being anonymous. So nobody knew who I am, what I do, and one after the other, 2 years in the making. In 2014, I decided to start my TV show. So 2 years writing reviews, hundreds of reviews, where to go, what to do, and people started trusting the reviews. Okay, who's this guy? Why is he writing about it? And most importantly, building on that credibility, I had to take a picture of the bill at the end of every single review. So all the bills were taking pictures of, so you know and confirm that I have paid for my review and the review is truthful.
How do you come up with new and engaging blog topics?
I wanted to be relevant into one thing I know how to do, I like how to do, instead of writing about everything. So the blog is about food, travel, and tourism. And what would people want to read? So you always need to think what would make people want to read and what is searchable. So in the content happening all around the world, you need to think of what would people search for. So SEO thinking. In the SEO thinking, you need to say, what would people write on Google? What would you write and say, I want to search for? What would you want to read about? And this is how it goes. Would you want to travel? Would you want to eat? Would you want to know the top 10 burgers? Would you want to travel around Lebanon and discover how Lebanon is? So whatever it is, write something that comes from the heart, definitely, so people would know and feel that you're writing something that you know about, not copy-pasting content. And two, what would people want to search for, or following a little bit the trends of what are the latest trends and articles happening around. So what would I write about is, one, I would used to go to the top 10 keywords of Google and what are people searching for. Two, what are the latest opening in restaurants and what would people want to go travel to or visit. And three, what do I like to do? So putting it into kind of a map, at least once every 2 weeks, I would have an inspiration article about things I like to do. So let's say the latest opening, the food trends, what would people eat in 2024, what is the biggest restaurant people are talking about, so something that is personal. And all around the week is about food reviews, where did I eat, what did I discover, and how things are building up in Lebanon or traveling around the world.
How would you describe your writing style? Does it align with your target audience, brand voice, and subject matter?
Let me tell you a story that answers the question and everything around it. I never learned English. I was in a French school, Mola Salle, and all that English you probably hear me talk or write on my blog, which I decided to write in English. I've learned alone. I've learned through Google, I've learned through TV shows, I've learned through my travels, I've learned through talking with people. So accordingly, I would invite you all to improve and talk more English and learn more English, and start by probably sending messages to yourselves, not by saying hi كيفك وينك شو عامل, and write real English. That English you're going to use in your future, in your work. You might be the best doctor and you might be the best biologist and you might be everything in between. If you do not know how to write a nice sentence and a nice email, you would not do it in life. So accordingly, I started writing English with lots of mistakes, improving along the way, improving in the way, in the writing, in the style, and trying to be something around writing in a very simple, non-complicated way everyone would understand. It's not about writing Shakespeare style, it's about writing a real decent English where people will understand and enjoy. After the 3rd, 4th, 10th, 100th review, I started asking myself, am I using the appropriate words? Am I changing my words? Am I changing my style? So I went on Google and saying, okay, can I say, is it mouth-watering? Is it tasty? Is it delectable? Is it delicious? So all these words mean the same. So I started changing my words in the articles for people to just feel there is a certain change in the mindset instead of using that same word again and again. And probably that is the style I search for, which people would want to read quick, probably diagonally, not going word after the other, so they would understand the meaning of the article and not the real English meaning of what I want to say.
Thank you.
Knowing that you are using multiple media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, TV, and GMO, what medium do you prefer to use to interact with your audience?
That's a very interesting question. It depends on what you want to choose the medium. So let me take a step back and tell you a little bit about what I do in a way that I'll answer the question indirectly and probably be beneficial for your needs. What I want to do, what my main aim is create documentaries about Lebanon and documentaries about life and documentaries about the little tiny details of everything we do in Lebanon for history and our children. So my main aim is creating amazing videos which you have seen that are published on MTV and published on YouTube on my platform. So YouTube is for me the main thing I work hard for and continue working hard for, because it's the only medium that is searchable. Focus on that point. So everything that you put on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok will disappear in a couple of weeks. So if you go now and search for any video on TikTok, you won't find it. If you search for any video on Instagram, you definitely won't find it, because they're not indexed into the Google search as an SEO. So YouTube is a Google company, and everything that you put in the title, in the description, or in the tags are searchable. Accordingly, personally, I want to create documentaries that are searchable 12 years in the making. So I started in 2012. Today in 2024, go on YouTube and search for any video I've filmed, and we reached 6,500 videos on YouTube that are searchable. Everything on Instagram is not. But what is your aim? So if your aim is to create more value for the content and get millions of followers, definitely Instagram. Easier, quicker, faster, more reach. If you want to follow the trends and do and get some cash, definitely TikTok. All the way, it's the trend, whatever is happening on TikTok. So accordingly, what do you want to do? When I started, and probably I'm one of the most prolific on Instagram with 40,000 posts, I used to post pictures on Instagram. And I am a photographer, I love photography, and Instagram is for me the photography content platform. And then one day Instagram changed and became a shopping platform. And then one day Instagram changed and became a video platform. So we followed with Instagram, and I stopped posting pictures because they do not get me the reach I want. And Instagram does not push for pictures. So making a long story short, you need to understand all these algorithms and understand how the algorithm works and what is the algorithm and what is Facebook and what is Instagram and what do all the platforms need. Are you on Twitter? Twitter is all about politics and probably bashing each other. Are you on Threads? It depends. So my personal favorite is going to be YouTube ongoing. Which one would you choose depends on your aim.
Thank you. Have you ever had to deal with negative comments on your blogs? If so, how did you handle it?
I hope you understand how I say it, and this is very important. 12 years back, I used to have negative comments, which are acceptable in a way or another. I got used to it, I got educated to it, I matured for it. What's happening the last year is not negative comments anymore. What's happening the last year is bullying, and it's very, very, very bad. And you need to be ready about it. What people are doing online has become way outside boundaries and minimal accepted education. So what's happening lately is, and I'm sure you're aware of what's happening, is not logical anymore. So I've seen social media grow from negative comments, I don't like you, I like you, you're doing it wrong, I like this food, you don't like it, whatever. And this is constructive criticism and negativity, which you will handle in a way or another. And then came the last year or two, where everything is accepted, where everything is bashed, where anyone having a phone will write anything online without thinking of the negativity and the impact you can put on people and have on people. So this needs very, very, very strong maturity. Personally, accordingly, I would not go into a debate and would not level myself and downgrade myself to answering questions that are attacks or bashing comments. I would discuss negativity in a constructive way of why did you answer me that and what do you need from it. And whoever is, in my opinion, whoever has something to tell me can send me a private message. So when someone goes out loud and sends something negative or a bad word or whatever, this is not someone that cares about you. This is not just someone that wants to spread hatred and negativity. So you need to be very aware. If you choose to go online, you're opening up a door to answers. These answers can be good, these answers can be bad. I'm sure probably 99% of Lebanese know who I am. probably 70% of them like me, and there are the other 30 that do not, for a reason or whatever it is. So I need to be ready for their replies, I need to be ready for their attacks, I need to be ready for answering or reading anything negative about me or my family. And this is social media 3.0 in 2024, which is developing without rules yet. So I hope I answered the question. And you need to be aware and ready and protected for whatever social media is doing to the world.
What's your process of editing and proofreading your work?
Along the way, I discovered a platform called Grammarly. I'm not sure if you heard about it, which I really like it. So I write, and Grammarly helps me understand the sentences and how the sentences are. I'm someone who's a lot into speed, and I don't have time. Again, even at school, I never read back my exams twice, which I have to. So I try as much as I can to read again, because mistakes happen again and again. As I said, I never said I'm an English learner. I never said I'm an English teacher. I never said I'm a journalist. I've never said that I know English enough. So very openly, this is who I am. 3 languages, French, English, and Arabic, and sometimes I do mistakes. I learn throughout my mistakes. So out of the 7,000 articles I've written, probably the first one was the worst, and then the last one was way better with lots of improvements. I recommend Grammarly, big time, and I rely on it. And all the others are probably into reading myself and sending the first email of 10 or 15 emails to my close group and say, if you find anything, please let me know. And sometimes they are minor, or sometimes there are structural mistakes that the family would help me with before publishing.
Thank you. Knowing you have experience working with guest bloggers, can you give us insight about the success of collaborating with them?
Of success working with?
Guest bloggers.
Okay. I did work with guest bloggers, I did work with people, and then you need to take a step back and understand, is the person you're working with to your level in a way of thinking, mindset, and so on. It's very important. Collaborations are important, and everybody talks about collaborations. But imagine that you are in your own bubble with your own followers and people like you as you. And then you bring up someone inside your close circle. This might be good and getting you more followers or viewers or subscribers, and probably bad because people who followed you or read you do not like that person per se. So accordingly, you need to, whenever choosing a guest appearance, blogger, writer, or whoever, you need to find someone that speaks your own language and has your same values. This is very important. So work on the values mainly, so you can portray the same message. And this would help and support considering you look at the same aim. So this is how I do it. I've never had bad experiences, usually all good. And all the people that are around you, and there are quite few, add value to what I do, and we do not compete. And the 3 guys, Eli, Mark, and myself, we work together, and everyone has his own setup and own added value on creating that story. I know myself in eating, he's the one doing nature, the third one does everything related to churches, and this is how we complete each other for a better show.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I was wondering, how do you include your personality in your blogs?
It just comes very naturally. Many people ask, did you learn about blogging? No. Did you learn about TV? No. Did you learn about video? No. I'm just very happy to do it, and I feel it. It comes from inside. So when I write, it's not my hand, it's my passion. When I write, it's not my head, it's my heart. When I talk, when I speak, when I walk, it just comes naturally, and I enjoy it from the bottom. So automatically it portrays in a way or another. I'm happily, alhamdulillah, thanks God, very happy and a super happy person, living a very happy life and super enjoying everything around me, and it shows. So whenever by any chance you're not happy, do not write. By any chance you're not in your best mood, do not write. So everything that comes in from the inside, exactly like creating bread, and what I talk about usually is nafas. When you're happy and enjoying it, it just flows around and not even thinking about it, you will put your own style into it if you believe in what you're doing and not doing it because someone asked or because you want to get paid.
What is your approach to incorporating visuals such as images and videos into your blog posts?
Something very, 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 very important, very, very important, and I believe it resumes all my answer, never steal content. Never steal content. In our culture, in our Arab culture, not to say Lebanese, we just take things online and use it. How many times have I been reposted on Instagram? Millions, nobody asked. How many times my pictures are taken? Millions, nobody asked. How many times my YouTube videos or MTV content has been cut and put on Facebook? Millions, nobody asked. This is wrong. This is very, 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 very wrong. Even though this is creativity, this is property, this is something very important. So even though in Lebanon it just works and nobody asks, when you steal a picture online, you will get sued. Google knows, everybody knows, there are softwares for it, AI knows, so do not do it. So accordingly, or use any picture that you want from sites that tell you you can use it. Example, Pexels, if you know Pexels. So you can go use a picture and put a contribution, put a thank you note, etc. Or ask someone, send a message to a blogger saying, I saw your picture online, I would like to use it on my blog. Yes or no? Or create your own content. And helping yourself by creating your own content would be great. So you can just not only write, but be a photographer in a way or another, and be a video creator in a way or another. So answering the question, how do I do it? It just come naturally, flow. With all the content I have, we have more than 200 terabytes of content today. So I can use my own, or I truly make sure I never use content that I'm allowed to and not content that is not mine.
Thank you. How do you ensure that your content remains accurate and up to date?
Very interesting. It needs lots of intention, of which if a restaurant closed, I have to go back and say closed. If a restaurant didn't close itself but has stayed for 3, 4, 5 years, I need to visit again to say, is the food still relevant? Is the food still good? So you need to adapt, and the writing style adapts, your personality adapts, everything adapts. So if you're working, I'm talking about myself as a food blogger, you're probably a journalist, you're probably a content creator, so depending on what kind of work you're doing, you need to come back again to that same content and say if it's still relevant in terms of if the place is open or not, if the food is still good or not, if the waiters are still the same or not, if the decor has changed or not. So you need to come back to your articles, read again, and make sure things are relevant. And on the other hand, follow certain trends and see, are people enjoying what you're doing, or the world has changed? Did you adapt and follow the trends? So you always need to re-question yourself to be accurate.
Hi, I would like to know how to manage your time when working on multiple blog projects simultaneously.
It was very hard when I used to be a dentist, which I stopped now. So my main job was being a dental surgeon. Started in 2005 and ongoing. In 2012, I started the blog, and I used to just work 1 day a week or 2 days a week maximum in the blogging, 2 hours a day, and that was fun, and I enjoyed it. It was my escape into writing, expressing, feeling, and I loved it. When it developed into a blog, a YouTube channel, a TV presenter, Instagram, and Facebook, I had to start choosing what do I want to do, turning it into a full-time passion now, and I stopped working in dentistry at the moment. And then I had to recruit a team, which helps. Now I have a team of 9 helping. 3 of them are in this room, and they're amazing. Help into creating more content, help into editing better content, help into filming, help into lots of things. And when it comes to me, considering I really enjoy it, it's not time, it's not work, it's just passion. So I have at least 3 to 4 hours a day where I enjoy posting a picture on Instagram or a reel on Instagram or writing a new article or whatever. So there are 3 or 4 hours a day which can be in the morning from 5:30 to 7 a.m. before I start my day, or at 9 between 8 and 10 p.m. before I go to sleep. Analyzing my content, analyzing algorithm, analyzing strategies, enjoying everything that happens around, and posting on the platform that that are my priority today: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube mainly, and keeping TikTok on the side for now.
There has been a lot of food trends over the years. How have you kept up with them, and have you ever done something just because it was trending?
I never do trending. I do what I believe in. I would create my famous sandwich that had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. Views is a sandwich with eggs and lebne and tomato and olives all together because I eat it this way. But I would never follow a trend where you put chips in a manouche because it does not work. So creating trends and creating food together, I have created a shawarma carbonara, and it's delicious. I have created that famous Anthony's manouche, which is a calzone, cheese on top, in the middle, closed, and za'atar on top, which every single bakery in the country has, which is delicious. But I would never follow a trend between brackets if I do not eat it. So I enjoy my food, I understand my food, I know my food, and there is my credibility at the end. And definitely there is that sense of, is he a real food blogger or he's just someone that eats? This balance is very important. On another hand, I do travel lately between 200 and 250 days a year to eat. At least 3 or 4 times a day. So do the math. So I eat from all cuisines, I enjoy everything. I've been to the extreme eating worms in South Korea, to eating horse meat, to going to eating 4-patty cheeseburger in the States, to eating a 2-kilo tomahawk, and so on and so forth, the most expensive piece of meat from Japan, and so on. So all of these bring you closer to understanding food trends and content, street food markets, etc., while being relevant and continuing. Thank you.
What are your future plans and goals for your blog and food exploration?
I believe the world has changed the last year, and we need to be aware of it. Not too far away, not too long ago, last 2 years back, everyone wanted to learn coding. Coding is so last year. Coding is so last decade. And that's changed in a day when AI started. And AI has taken content to the next level, and we need to be aware of it and ready about it. I'm going to tell you a little tiny secret. I have 3 blog posts on my post a week that are provided by AI, which I don't even write, I don't even think of, and you don't even know that AI writes it. So AI has taken us to the next level. Did you know that there are AI influencers that have millions of followers on Instagram that started last year and that are all based in Japan? And so on and so forth. So what's happening to the world is very important, and the world is changing tremendously. So you need to continue and follow up on what it is. Am I taking 3 hours of my day to write a review, or probably take an hour to humanize it and get help with another 2? I've done a consultancy job for Saudi Arabia that took 1 month of my time, which should have taken 3 years, just with the help of AI. Just by AI helping me write more, better, longer text that is for me irrelevant, but this is how it should be presented. So just take a step back and understand how the world is and where the world is going and how technology is helping us being more human and not being working at our place, while being more efficient in working more efficiently instead of spending long hours of doing nothing. So I love videos. We're doing a great job. We're editing amazing videos. We're doing great stuff while understanding what's happening. So definitely less time writing long articles that take half of my day. What are the next plans is dreaming of having that long documentary on Netflix. We give shows for 2 TVs around the world and probably having another 2 coming. And continuing on creating more content on YouTube, at least 2 to 3 videos a day, to reach a certain point where all of Lebanon and the Lebanese communities around the world are covered, united into one platform on my YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll be reaching it soon.
Thank you. Knowing that blogging is evolving, what would you advise future bloggers?
It's part of the last answer in a bit, but I would say someone and many people stopped me and said, I want to become a blogger, what do I do? My answer is always work from the heart. It's not the phone, which we have 10. It's not the camera, which we have the best. It's not the lighting, which we definitely have the best. Reaching a point where you create a good content is something that comes naturally, even though 99% of content is bad. But you need to focus on doing good content. But good content with no emotions does not take you anywhere. So start by following your heart. If you're good at fashion, do fashion. If you're good at food, do food. Do not do things because people do it. Someone came to me once and said, I want to open a restaurant. I said, yeah, great. What do you want to do? I said, I don't know. I have $100,000. I said, great. Put them in the bank. You cannot think of $100,000 and see what you want to open. You need to come to me and say, I love shawarma. I want to make it happen. And then $100,000 will take you to your aim. Imagine what you want to become in 5 years. Imagine your goal. Imagine who you are. There always needs to be a destination. Where am I going? What's the destination? Where am I going? And then how to reach the destination? Anything can take you. A car, an Uber, a plane, anything. So reaching a destination, anything will take you there. But unfortunately, in the fast-moving world, many of us do not have a destination. You do not know where you're going. You do not know what you want to write. You do not know what you want to learn. You do not know what kind of blog you want to do. You do not know what you want to make of your life. So think of today before tomorrow. Think of what do I want to become. Put a destination to what you would want to do. Or having a blog, or probably studying at university, you're doing what you want to do. And then reaching that destination is the easiest thing, since you have a destination you want to reach. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your patience. We invited you because we know how dedicated you are with your work and how professional you are, and you've really shined that to the students very well. Thank you. I wanted to see if you had a few more minutes. We can take random questions.
Of course, pleasure.
Okay, do any of the students have random questions?
Wouldn't or were? Were or weren't? Not satisfied. Definitely. Definitely you write things that you're not satisfied of, and you learn along the way. Let me tell you a true story. Every time I'm not satisfied about something, or a blog post, or an article, or a word, or anything I've done, life turns around, and in a month, in a week, in a year, something happens and I say, I shouldn't have done it. I know I shouldn't have done it. I'm not, it's not part of my values. So you need to be very, you need to, whatever you want to do it because you want to do it, because you believe in it. It's very important. And you understand along the way, everything that you've done because of Kermel, you did reach a point and say, I shouldn't have. It's me, it's my values, my credibility. Just do it because you want to do it. So this is very important. While we wait for the next question, I do not eat garlic and onions, so this is why it's called No Garlic No Onions. So how it started, because I wanted to create a brand name, and that brand name, what would it be? Anthony Eats, what would it be? Anthony's blog, what would it be? So imagine back in 2012 when Instagram started. And that brand name came in, it's a No Garlic No Onions. Just not because I do not eat garlic and onion, because I believe in our culture, in our food, we use too much garlic and onion, way too much, wrongly way too much. So I wanted to change that perspective of, yes, garlic and onion definitely add value and definitely add a little bit of flavor, but they cannot be used to cover all the flavor. So whoever says, you hear saying, كتر بصل وكتر توم is good for your health. No, it's not. Wait, breathe. So you cannot put garlic in hummus, you cannot dice huge, big onions in a tabbouleh. There are things that are a no-no. So whatever, and imagine eating that chicken you eat with extra toom. I'm not sure you'd even know you're eating chicken. It can be just anything that chews. So make sure you use these two ingredients in a very simple and subtle way, where we understand and enjoy and feel lemon, and feel cumin, and feel pepper, and feel anything else. So this was the mission. But anyway, on the other hand, I cannot eat them, so this is why it's called No Garlic No Onions.
What's your favorite post?
My favorite post is one I always remember that is about asking big restaurants and corporations in Lebanon to avoid and leave the villages alone. I've written this post a couple of years back and I really enjoyed it. And it was kind of a preparation for indirectly what happened to our economy. Lebanon is Lebanon. Lebanon, my favorite country, أحلى بلد بالعالم, the best country in the world, is different than any other country in the world. And it's based on the village. The village makes Lebanon. The Fadi, Ibrahim, Mansour, Michel, Eli, and the little tiny breakfast places and bakeries do make what Lebanon is. So when all these big corporations and brands and franchises opened, they started, after filling up Beirut and filling up all the cities, they started climbing all over the villages. So I've written an article about these big corporations saying, leave the villages alone, leave the bakery of the village alone, leave the families of the villages alone, which I really enjoyed. And back then it was, I had very negative comments around it, very negative comments because people didn't understand it. So it answers all the questions you've asked today. And today, if you read it, you would say, yes, it makes sense. Because what makes the village, and especially after COVID, is the family that started producing money. It's the family that moved from Beirut to the city and stayed in the city, in the village, excuse me. So the village is what makes Lebanon unique. And we need to focus more on the village of Lebanon. And if you do not find a job or enough opportunities in the city, go up to the village. There are millions of hidden opportunities yet to be discovered.
Is there anyone that stopped you to continue your blogs with 2000?
When I started, it was very new. So people were not used to what I do. I've got several phone calls, way too many phone calls of whoever considered themselves as friends or lawyers or restaurants. I've had lots of calls saying, you have to remove your blog, we advise you to remove your article, etc., or stop writing about it, or it was too negative, etc. And I never answered anyone, considering I'm very proud and convinced of what I've written. And yet, 12 years in the making, whoever called me back then stopped or closed, and things are continuing, and I'm continuing in a different perspective. So again, we answering that question back to do more of what you are convinced to do, and do not answer questions or reply to whoever is around you to tell you not to do it or do it.
Okay, we'd like to quickly invite our grade 12 students. They have a bake sale to raise their money, and they have made macaroni and cheese and cocktail for you.
Da-da-da-da.
If you don't mind.
No garlic, no oil.
No garlic.
No garlic, no onion.
No garlic?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do we have here? Macaroni and cheese.
So نحن promoting event card قررنا نعمل بيكسي اليوم for the charity cause. نص المصاري اللي رح تطلع حتكون للتشاريتي ونصهم الباقي كمان نحتفل كلنا سوا. وعملنا ماك اند تشيز نحن عملناهم كتلاميذ وفروت سالاد كمان.
بعرف شو المكونات؟
ايه فيها ترافل على فكرة. ماكروني. فيها فور تشيز كمان وترافل.
اوكي.
حبايبها.
بس بدك اعطيك رايي مزبوط مثل ما انا بشتغل. So it's too creamy for being a macaroni and cheese. So the four cheese are great. So it's good, tasty, truffle flavor, kind of mustard hidden flavor in the back. And then فيها الكريمينس اللي كتير قوية يلي هي طبخت الباستا زيادة. So the pasta are not al dente. So accordingly, I love it. But for next time if I want to do it better, so one, it needs to be a little bit more elastic. يعني لازم تكون الجبنة عم تمغط. Make sense? انت فتشت عليها ما تزعل انت بعت لي هدول
لا
سو لازم الجبنه
تنصحهم يجيبوا منها
ايه اشتروا منها اكيد اشتروا منها سو لازم الجبنه تمغط اكثر مثل ما نقوشت الجبنه ولازم يكون في بقلبها الفور تشيز في جبنه فيها مور اسيديتي فيها تكون التشيدر او الجريير لازم يكون اكثر من البقيه والكريم فريش تما نحس بالكريم هو ايفر عملها بخبروا اياهم لازم تستعملوا تسموها كريم فيجيتال مش كريم انيمال يعني الفيجيتابل كريم نوت ذا انيمال كريم تما تحسها كثير قويه ديليشس اشتروا منها كلكم اشتروا منها كثير طيبه بس كمان on an improvement level ما بحياتك تحط تفاحه مش مقشره بالفروت سالاد ما عاد بسناني بس ديليشس اشتروها. Thank you so much for having me. ان شاء الله تكون جاوبتكم على اسئلتكم وتسلينا مع بعض. اذا عندكم انستغرام فيل فري تبعتوا لي مسج بجاوب على كل واحد. انا بجاوب على كل انستغرام مسج تبعنا. Anything, anytime, pleasure, happy, anything you want. ان شاء الله نضل good luck.
The administration would like to dedicate this bonsai to you.
كانت الجامعة روعة، كانت الجامعة رائعة، بعقدوا أول شيء محترمين مهذبين ما حدا فتح تمه تسمعوا مزبوط، حكينا ساعة تقريبا 15 سؤال جاوبت عليهم كلهم سوا بالإنجليزي كلهم سوا، وحكينا عن لبنان هالمرة بس حكينا عن قديش في اشياء حلوة عن الإنجليزي عن قديش في يكتبوا قد السوشيال ميديا مهمة كيف فيهم يتطوروا and I had so much fun. أنا بيجي لهون لأنه بحب المدرسة وبيجي لهون لأنه بحب بيرجو كتير وصديق كتير فانبسطت إنه رجعت شفته and very connected بعد زمان هلا ما بده يتصور بس انه anyway ان شاء الله قدر ضلني to spread happiness and empower youth تكلنا سوا نضلنا مأمنين بأحلى بلد بالعالم. تعرفنا على بعضنا بال 2017 16 عملنا سوا الاكل بالجامعه الأنطونية وصرنا كتير اصحاب ما بعطيه يعني حق كفايه وما بلحق اشوفه كتير بس من القلب بحبك من قلبي.